Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Sean bienvenidos de nuevo al canal. El día de hoy vamos a hacer una práctica completa de una entrevista. Vamos a comenzar con las 10 preguntas, haremos 3 oraciones para leer y escribir y incluiremos las preguntas personales y también las Have You Ever. Ya saben que estos videos es bien importante que los tomes con seriedad, que lo practiques en su totalidad y que respondas en voz alta. Bien importante eso. También es bien importante que nos ayudes a darle like a estos videos. Son bien importante que nos ayudes con el like y sobre todo que te suscribas si no lo has hecho. También recuerda que si tienes alguna pregunta me la puedes mandar a mi Instagram ciudadanía_ahora, en el cual vas a encontrar también muchos videos con mucha información que resulta útil. Además ahí hacemos videos en vivo. Ya saben amigos, ayúdenme siempre con un like para poder seguir haciendo estos videos. No se hable más, comencemos la práctica del día de hoy. Hi and welcome. My name is Officer Gutierrez and today I will be conducting your citizenship interview. First of all, can you please give me your name? Thank you. Can I see your permanent resident card and your passport? Thank you. First, we're going to start with the civic test and also with the writing and reading test. Are you ready? Excellent. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life and liberty. Life and liberty. Who's in charge of the executive branch? Who's in charge of the executive branch? The president. The president. What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and the House of Representatives. The Senate and the House of Representatives. What do we call the 10 First Amendments to the Constitution? What do we call the 10 First Amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression and freedom of speech. Freedom of expression and freedom of speech. What is the economic system in the United States? What is the economic system in the United States? Market economy. Market economy. In what month do we vote for president? In what month do we vote for president? November. November. We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? 6 years. 6 years. How many amendments does the Constitution have? How many amendments does the Constitution have? "27. 27. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? Two years. 2 years. Congratulations, you have approved the civic test. Now let's do the writing and reading test. Now please read the following sentence. Who was the second president? Who was the second president? Now please write the following sentence. Adams was the second president. Adams was the second president. This is the correct way to write it. Adams was the second president. Now please read the following sentence. Who lives in the White House? Who lives in the White House? Now, can you please write the following sentence? The president lives in the White House. The president lives in the White House. This is the correct way to write it. The president lives in the White House. Let's do one more. Can you please read the following sentence? When is Flag Day? When is Flag Day? Now, can you please write the following sentence? Flag Day is in June. Flag Day is in June. This is the correct way to write Flag Day is in June. Congratulations, you have approved the writing and reading test too. Now let's put you under oath. Can you please raise your right hand? Thank you. Do you swear and affirm that the statements you will give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please take a seat. Now tell me, do you understand why you're here today? Why are you here today? Why do you want to be a U.S. citizen? Why do you qualify to become a U.S. citizen? How many years have you been a permanent resident? What is your full legal name? Have you used a different name? What is your current address? How long have you been living at this address? What was your previous address? What is your date of birth? And where were you born? What is your height and your weight? What is the color of your eyes? How about the color of your hair? Can you please give me your social security number? What is your marriage status? How many times have you been married? Is your spouse a U.S. citizen? Are you currently employed? Where do you work? And what do you do in your job? When was the last day that you work? Are either your parents U.S. citizens? Have you traveled out of the United States in the last 5 years? Where did you travel to? And what was the purpose of your traveling? How many days did you spend out of the United States in the last 5 years in total? When was your last trip? And where did you travel to? What was the purpose of your trip? Who traveled with you? And how many days were you outside of the United States in this trip? Since you submitted your application, have you traveled again? Since you submitted your application, did you change your address? Since you submitted your application, did you change your job? Has anything changed? In what month did you send your application? Do you have any children? Are any of your children U.S. citizens? How old are your children? What is your relationship with your children? Great. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in reading or any other way? Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Why not? Do you now have, or do you ever have, a heritage title or an order of nobility from any foreign country? Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined into a mental institution? What is a mental institution? Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? Have you ever not filed your federal, state, or local tax return since you become a lawful permanent resident? Have you ever called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you become a lawful permanent resident? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or any way associated with any organization, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in other location in the world? Have you ever been a member or any way associated with the Communist Party? What is communism? Have you ever been a member of any totalitarian party? Have you ever been a member of a terrorist organization? What is a terrorist? Have you ever advocated the overthrow of any government by force or violence? Have you ever persecuted any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? What is persecute? Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for or associate in any way with the Nazi government of Germany? Have you ever been involved in genocide? What is a genocide? Have you ever been involved in torture? Have you ever been involved in killing or trying to kill someone? How about badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose? Forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relations. Not letting someone practice his or her religion. What is religion? Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups? Military unit, paramilitary unit. What is a paramilitary unit? Police unit, self-defense unit, vigilant unit, a rebel group, a guerrilla group. What is a guerrilla group? Okay. Have you ever been a member of a militia? A insurgent organization? Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you ever serve in any of the following? A prison or jail. A prison camp. What is a prison camp? Okay. How about detention facility? A labor camp? Or any other place where people were forced to stay? Perfect. Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, organization to use weapons against any person or threaten to do so? Do you ever self-give or provide weapons to any person, or help another person self-give or provide weapons to any person? Do you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training? What is a weapon? Correct. Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript, or use any person under 15 years of age to do anything to serve in or help an armed force or group? Do you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything to help or support people in combat? Have you ever committed, assisted in commit, or attempt to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? What is a crime? Correct. What is arrested? Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer for any reason? What is cited? Have you ever been charged with committed, attempting to commit, or assisted in committing a crime or offense? Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? Have you ever been in jail or prison? Have you ever been a habitual drunkard? What is a habitual drunkard? Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? Have you ever sold controlled substances? Have you ever sold or smuggled controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics? Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? What is gambling? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or pay alimony? Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain a public benefit in the United States? Have you ever given any U.S. government official any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government official to gain entry or admission into the United States, or to gain an immigration benefit while in the United States? What is a lie? Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been ordered to remove, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, or rescission, or deportation proceedings in the United States? Are removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings currently pending against you? What is deportation? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Are you a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthday? Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? What is the form of government of the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? What is an oath of allegiance? Are you willing to take the oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combat services in the U.S. Armed Forces? Can you please give me an example of a non-combat service you can provide to the U.S. Armed Forces? Great. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian directions? Great. Muy bien, amigos, si pudieron contestar este video, yo les aseguro que el que pudo contestar este video va a pasar su entrevista sin ningún problema. La verdad que estos videos ayudan mucho para que tú puedas practicar todos los días. Es importante que uno practique todos los días la simulación de entrevista. Estos videos están hechos para las personas que no tienen con quién practicar. Vayan a ver cualquiera de estos dos videos si no los han visto. Sigan practicando, sigan ayudando con los likes, comparten esta información y nos vemos en el próximo video. Hasta luego.